What up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing. This thing that we do every Thursday. And again, I think we're doing pretty good. We're keeping with a New Year's resolution of doing one every week, but it's gonna be a little rough next week. We'll see. I'm going on vacation, but I think I can still manage to at least upload at the right time. But we got a great show today. We're not gonna have Warranty. He's off being an adult. We're not gonna have Jordan. He is listening, but he's not gonna be joining in. But that's okay because I got a sweet guest. Randy, thank you for the thumbnail as usual, and we're gonna just get right to it. This week, I'm pretty hyped. Somebody who's helped Team Boogeyman out a lot and answered a bunch of my questions, and honestly works for the company that creates a lot of my favorite product for a lot of my customers. We got Steve from XClutch on. Steve, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, Dewey? Thanks for having me.
Dude, I'm hyped. This is actually a show that I think we should have done a million years ago
Yeah.
to answer the age old stage two question. But yeah, I'm hyped to have you on, dude. So how this crazy new year treating you guys? Is sales decent? Because it's been kind of all over the place here. Like we think the sky is falling and then it's great the very next week. So I don't it is what it is.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been a pretty tough 18 months
Mhm.
just in general.
Yeah.
Um the just things are very unstable and
Yep.
we're an international business, so there's a lot of shipping and moving parts in different parts of the world
Absolutely.
that we get involved in. So um business has been great. Like I think we're back on an uptick with not that we're like on a downtick, but like I think in general, like just the amount of
Mhm.
inquiries and feedback and stuff, orders coming through, those sort of things have picked up. I mean,
Yep.
compared to the same Q1 of last year, if you want to be like that. But um yeah, no, things have been good, man. I think the brand is still gaining traction in different avenues, and we've been really strong with Subaru, thanks to the likes of you and the guys at IAG. It's been Subaru has been those guys have been great to us, and we appreciate it. Um, but we're still, trying to make our way through the rest of the cars, and let people know that we have a good product for them and offer different solutions compared to what they might be used to. So yeah, to answer the question long, it's been great.
That's good, dude. I think the
Yeah.
whole world kind of made a big inhale and then exhale with crazy tariff stuff and everything. It was a lot of uncertain times and nobody really knew how to deal with it. So yeah, it kind of nice that everything's settled down and we're seeing that on our end too. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, even the people checking the stuff in didn't know what to do with it either. It was just coming in.
Yeah, what do you even do? I when
Yeah.
we ordered the trans, it was like right when all that stuff started to hit. And like out of nowhere, I got smacked with a $3,000 bill. I had no idea, and that's rough on a
Yeah.
race team. Like we didn't, I, what are you going to do? And that was coming from like, I don't know, some Eastern European whatever. I
Right.
and like
Yeah.
then I just get a $3,000 bill out of nowhere. They're like, you gotta pay this. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Um
or you're not getting your package. We're
yeah,
gonna
and
ship
you're
it
like,
back.
okay, cool. Well, there's the season. Um so yeah, dude. I kind of want to get a little background on you. I know if I hop on your Facebook, I see a badass 1G DSM, but
Yeah.
what are you ripping around in these days? How long you been with XClutch? Like, what's? Give me a little bit of your history. What's going on?
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff's going on. So the X Clutch thing, like that started back in 2019 is when it kind of kicked off in the US. They hired me in late 2018. They took me from a competitor of ours. But that just happened by circumstance. Like that was just walking around a PRI show one year, seeing this clutch company, and I'm going like, "Hey, your guys' stuff's purple. Our stuff's purple. What's going
Yeah.
on?" Like that was literally the conversation starter. They got talking with the owner of the company at the time, and it was like their first year displaying at PRI, I guess, and um, just kept in touch, and here we are, you know, 8 years later, 7 years later, something like that. So it's been real interesting building the brand from a start. Like the company's
Hmm.
been in business for since like '89 in Australia, but the operation in the US is just something that's came around the last like 7 years.
Yeah, I was
You
about to
know,
say, even like it was kind of you didn't hear anything about XClutch until about 5 years ago. And like
right?
that's when you started to see you guys pop up all over the place. And um yeah, I it was not even on my radar at all.
That wasn't on anybody's radar. Like
Yep.
that was the fun part about it all. It was just trying to get, it's a sunset business, unfortunately. Like the less OEMs are making manual transmissions every year. You see it's select applications now that are doing it from the factory, but I think the core is always going to be motorsport.
Mhm.
There's always going to be people like you that are for what you do. I think it's probably the best. I mean, I heard you talking about the AHP, and it's a good transmission, but
Sure.
at the end of the day, it's it's not it's not as physical and real. Like I think, right? Like
No.
it's a good transmission. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on the automatics, but from my perspective, it was tough. So like when we come into the market, you got to offer something different. You got to give them something different. You got to make yourself stand apart from a industry that's pretty mature and uh,
Sure. There's a lot of
does
names
that really?
out there too.
Yeah.
We're talking a lot of big names out there that have been there for a really long time. So it it's kind of an opportunity on you guys' end because like you are a new player into this. That means kind of the only way you can go is up, you know what I mean? And gaining
Mhm.
market share and everything. But on the other hand, like you're up against some real stiff, well dug in competition. So,
Oh yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So yeah, no, and myself, like the DSM, like that's what got me into cars.
Nice.
Is early 2000s. I had a friend of mine that he got a Honda Civic, and we put a cold air intake on it, and kind of doing this stuff and going out and doing rips and banging off VTEC on a single red
Yep.
cam D16. The crossover. Oh, let's do it, go! And then it turned into my very first car I owned was a third gen Camaro,
Okay.
V6, pretty
Heck.
sweet machine. I jumped it
Dude,
over a set of tracks and killed it. Like,
we've
dude,
all been there.
like it's been great. And then I think a tree fell on it or something. And then I got like
Aw.
an insurance paycheck, and I found this like DSM that, I was like, oh, it's an Eclipse. Let me go check it out. And I ended up buying it. And then I went for a ride in a turbo one, and it was like that sealed the deal, right? And I mean, that's what got me in. So those cars got me in. I still have that one that's in my Facebook profile, that white
Nice.
92. I've had that car since like 2004.
Don't you ever
And
sell that thing, ever.
I know.
It's
I
one of
get
those
told
things,
like I
man.
don't drive it. Like I really, if I put 200 miles on it a year, it's a lot. And I have intentions to drive it. Like it runs. Like I can go start it right now. It's not
Mhm.
like it's broken on jack stands or anything, but um, life and kids and work and
I get
you
it.
know, it's expensive to drive. Not really, but like if it breaks, it does because
Sure.
like you can't get parts for them anymore.
Yep.
Um, and I've had a few of those. Did some racing stuff when I was younger. I was never really good at driving, so got good at wrenching and fixing them and being track support, and did some import drag racing. The Nopi days in early 2000s,
Those were
and
tough times to be in the pits because, man, it was every single pass. Those dudes,
yeah,
especially the Honda guys, they were just tearing through B series transmissions. Like, there's a
yep.
reason a B series trans goes for so much now. It's because all those drag racing kids annihilated all of them.
That's right. It was the same thing for everything. Like we raced DSMs, and it was just like, well, you just had carried 5 or 6 of them because, like, they'd hold the power until they wouldn't, and they break, and then we're running. I mean, the big drag car we had then, it went like 870 or something like that, in like 2004 or 2003, something like that, and
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, but it was changing gearboxes. We ended, spending the money on a PPG like gear set
Yeah.
and tilting triple carbon clutch, and it stopped a little bit, but you still broke transfer cases and
Sure.
that sort of stuff. And it was changing those out as much as I was changing out like V1 AM MSD boxes, that sort of
Yup.
stuff. Like it was just it was what we did not back then versus what you have available now it was incredible. But
It's
uh,
wild, right?
yeah,
I actually like I kind of get nostalgic for like how problems had to be solved then, and how, people don't realize how much easier it is now with access to all sorts of crazy shit, but just really good standalones and our understanding of how tuning works. And like, there's a plethora of different ignition options. You know, you just go coil on plug and the problem's gone. You know what I mean? Like
right.
all sorts of stuff, but drivetrain issues. I mean, if that's something that even nowadays is really hard to get around. So
Yeah, like back then it was you're tricking the MAF signal of the ECU. You
yeah, you just
work
lie to
you
it.
out of it. There was this little knob, you just turned the Super AFC and, it was a lot of that. Like, I was dating myself, but, like, when I was doing that, that's what we were doing, installing
Yeah.
Super AFCs, out street tuning them with a wideband in it, take the wideband out when you're done and, on your way, and, then, like, from that, like, the economy took a shit in 2008, the shop I was working
Hmm.
for closed and went and was, like, a just general repair mechanic for a couple years. Um, Buddy of mine I met drag racing DSMs, Evan Klein, he started doing rally racing and
Okay.
was using a Galant VR4, so we started doing that
Nice.
and transitioned GD Subaru chassis, went from a Bug Eye to Blob Eye, STI from a WRX, did that whole thing, and we raced the Rally America series for 7, 8 seasons pretty much. I was working, it was a good deal because I was working at XClutch at the time, and they were sponsoring the car and,
Yep.
fronting us to go and race and allow us to work on the road and that sort of stuff. So it's a good time. And so I spent my 20s and 30s at the racetrack, and now I'm spending my 40s raising kids and, selling clutches.
I get it, dude. I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to the track all the damn time, but
Yeah.
kids and selling parts, man, it's what I do.
So what you
That's
do,
my
man.
daily.
So yeah, so like my daily is an F-150, and I got a Subaru Outback in the driveway
Let's
that's just kind
go.
of haven't parted ways with it yet. It was the wife's old car. We got a new car for her last year, and we haven't quite got rid of the Subaru yet. And so I owned a bunch of Subarus at BRZ, and a couple of Imprezas. I had a roll on commute when I was at Exity, so like I didn't and was trying to daily drive an STI and drive 150 miles a day or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
But
brutal.
yeah, so I had a couple Imprezas and the BRZ. Really, I really like the BRZ. I kind of wish I wouldn't have got rid of it, but I got 5 cars now. Like it's too
Yeah, where are
much.
you gonna put
5
them?
cars, couple boats,
Yep.
bunch of bikes, all sorts of shit. So, but yeah, man, that's it, man. Like I got the talent. I'm hoping to get it out this year and drive around more. Uh, it's just I'm sure you're this way. Like I built that car 20 years ago, and
Yep.
back then I thought I did a good job, and now as you kind of look into it, you're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah, and then
you know?
well, it's funny, like, it wasn't even that long ago for me. It was, 2019-ish, me and Chach put together Boogie, and then Dylan is like, now the car is completely different, but having to like look him in the face with all the dumb shit that we did with that car before he came along. Oh my god, dude. It was it's like having to come to terms with that. But I get it. I'm actually scared of this '05 STI that I need to put back together that I ruined of my wife's, that I'm going to have to atone for many sins, and but at least yours is still running. But I get it.
Yeah.
There's things that probably you thought were either cool or done right back in the day, and now you're like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It's like wiring stuff. I've gotten a lot better with the wiring than
Yeah,
back then. Um, yeah, and it's just back then it was just like strip all the stuff out of the car, like all the plastics. Like I've been on a hunt for all the OEM plastics for the last like probably 5 years. Like I've been slowly collecting them. You see them pop up on
that's
eBay or
rough,
you know,
especially for a
go
one
like you get
G.
some. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's tough.
yeah.
So, and then, like, the AC was long I'd ripped that off, not even thinking about it back in the
Oh,
day, and it's, like, trying to get that sort of stuff now, I'd love to have it,
dude, we
you know,
all used to just throw that shit in the garbage,
I don't need that, it's in
Yeah.
the way.
And what's funny is that shit's starting to get hard for me to find with like my bug eye or that STI or whatever.
Mhm.
And you're adding a whole nother decade to it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like it's almost to the point where, like, if I did do that, it would you're because it's got a big front mount. Like the car's it like I got the car as a rolling chassis
Sure.
and with no interior, no nothing, and completely built the car
Yep.
from that, right? And the engine, the gearbox, everything's done, but you know, it's back then you're just like, "Let's just go fast. Let me take this stuff out." Like, get sound deadening out of the car. I've been putting sound deadening back into the car. Let's take stuff out,
All
put a
the
couple
things
panels
like
down.
you would have beat your 20-year-old self up for, you're now redoing.
Yeah, I can't drive the car in the summertime. It's just too hot.
Y
It's still got the nice like 90s leather seats and stuff in it, so it's
yeah,
comfy. You sit in it, you're like, "Oh, this is really nice." But it's miserable when it's 90 degrees outside.
yeah, which I totally
Yeah.
get it. Alright, man, well, uh, kinda what I wanted to do today is I guess maybe just answer some basic questions about, clutches in general, okay?
Mhm.
It's kind of a misunderstood topic, so I figured I'd bug you on some of this. So, long story short, we're driving turbo cars. It's easy to turn the power up. Not only that, like even a lot of these OEM cars, they make a ton of torque with all-wheel drive to drive them smooth. You're gonna slip the clutch a little bit. You're gonna wear clutches out, having a little extra holding capacity or maybe a slightly different material will help out. Um, but you're gonna end up replacing a clutch sooner or later, and then here come the questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of the time, these are if you're not just OEM replacing it, you're looking at some sort of modified clutch in some way. And you got a lot of different brands and what and everything else. One of the things that I maybe we should just get this out of the way right away. Um, I feel like every company uses some sort of when they're talking about clutch brands, other than maybe like ACT, they have stage attached to it, and then that immediately gets associated with nowadays most people would know it from Cobb, but like a Cobb staged package. So, do you need a stage two clutch for your stage two tune?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
It's the rules.
It's the rules. They must stay
It's the
one to
rules.
one.
It must stay the way it is. It's a big corporate conspiracy by the clutch industry
Yes.
to
Big
tag
clutch.
along.
Big
Big
clutch.
clutch. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, so, like, yeah, like I said, I used to work at XCity. We had stage 1, stage 2, and everything beyond that's this hyper, right?
Yep.
And, there was a long time when I first started doing this because 'cause I've been, uh, doing this clutch thing for 14 years, maybe 15 years,
Mhm.
14 for sure. I think I'm maybe entering my 15th year.
Sure.
Um, and like, it's annoying because like the conversation about the clutches always comes around like there's two questions: how much power and what are you using the car for? Right?
Yep.
Plain and simple. How much torque? Because the clutches are rated off torque. You can rate them off horsepower, but it's subjective to the vehicle, right? Like
Yes. You
your,
you
your
really
Subaru might
you
make
honestly
500
you have to
horsepower
rate a
torque.
clutch off of torque and people
Yeah.
kind of miss that.
And like all of our ratings we give are all based at the crank. And there's some manufacturers I think it's a common thing that most of the clutch manufacturers do. Like XCD gave one for wheel and for the flywheel, but the wheel one is just like it's a percentage they take off the flywheel.
Sure.
So, and that varies. Like an all-wheel drive car versus a rear-wheel drive car
Yep.
versus like a transverse versus longitudinal mount engine. Like you
Manual
have different
versus
drivetrain
auto,
loss.
you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, the second question, how much power? What do you do in the car? What are you doing with the car? So, like, it's like, and then the third question is a good one too. Like, you can kind of follow it up with like, okay, all that stuff you just talked about, or is it like happening like right now, or like, are you talking in like a year? Or are you talking after tax
Mhm.
season? Like, what are you talking, right? And like, what is that period between you needing a clutch and actually making 1,000 horsepower, right? Because,
Yep.
and then the factors, what are you doing? Like, I get the call, it's like all the time, just about like I want to make 1,000 horsepower, I want to drive the car, I want to feel like a factory clutch, and I want all these things, and you're like, well, you drive, oh, Mazda speed. It's like, like 1,000 horsepower clutch at a Mazda speed isn't going to be fun to drive, but
No.
it's gonna what you're gonna need to do it to get to that thing, right? So, and then the drivability aspect is so subjective. Like,
Massive.
you can drive like, your little 7 and a quarter lightweight clutch, you can drive that thing on the street, Joe Schmo down the road might not be able to do it at all. He
Yeah,
might think a
might not
stage
even be
one's
able to
too
get it
much.
out of his driveway. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and, but yeah, so, like, when you're looking at this sort of stuff, it's like, okay, what power is the car making? Like, what and if you're gonna modify it or increase the power, what's the timeline, right?
Mhm.
It's not a bad idea to do the clutch ahead of time to allow the clutch to break in and do what it needs to do and get used to driving it, before you do those increases of power. It's also an expensive endeavor, right? For even if you're doing it yourself, like, you have time, space, shop stuff, the tools to do it, knowledge from doing other things to do it, and then the cost of the actual product to replace the clutch, or you're paying a shop to do it, and that's not cheap. Labor
Yep.
rates are $200+ an hour at some of these places.
Yep.
You know, and so you're paying average 6 to 10 hours to do a clutch, right? So, like, it's an expensive endeavor to do. So you want to make sure you're getting the right product when you're doing it. So, is it a car that you thought gonna be on the track? Well, then you want something more sport oriented. You want something lightweight, you want something heavier, do you want
Not only
quick
that, like
shifting?
engagement with that's I think the thing that gets most overlooked than anything. Like you can have a really narrow engagement window for a track car because all you got to do is get moving. Okay,
Yeah,
you're not sitting at street lights and stuff like that. So if you're out ripping laps on a road course, you could drive a 3 putt clutch with some sort of like really metallic based material that's going to grab like hell, you know what I mean? Like you
yeah,
could do that and it's probably going to be great, other than creeping around in the pits and you trying to get out of your pit stall and stalling and all that fun stuff. But it's going to be complete ass on the street. Engagement is one of those things that I think so gets overlooked. Everybody is more worried about the weight of the pedal. How heavy is this pedal? How heavy is the pressure plate? And they totally overlook how that clutch is going to engage and feel when how is that window wide and easy to modulate, or is it like an on off button?
right,
So
yeah. And what you might think is easy versus what I think is easy, could be two completely different things.
sure.
Yeah, so it's always fun navigating those ones.
Yeah, this bug I just picked up. I mean, it's basically a stage 2 STI stage. Okay.
There you
But
go.
it's a stock turbo with bolt-ons STI is
Yeah,
essentially what it is. And I don't know what clutch they have in it, but this thing has got to be it feels like a stock flywheel with like some sort of like 3 putt clutch. Like some like instant grabby. The window is super small and it is the most obnoxious thing to drive right now. It is just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I can't wait to
but I
get one
mean,
of those twins.
that's the way to go. Like, if you are driving the car on the street, like,
Mhm.
having a heavy flywheel is key. Key.
Sure.
Like, that's gonna be the biggest beneficial in terms of, like, I got guys that, I'm making whatever, making stage 2 power for, like, something that would fall under one of our
Yeah, yeah.
clutches. Um, but, they're concerned about drivability. I'm like, "Well, just put a factory flywheel with it." Like,
Yep.
because that flywheel is retaining the inertia from the engine, which is gonna help with you taking off on the stop, and it can overcome, some of the grabbiness of a ceramic face disc.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
And that's like the only reason that this thing has any remote drivability to it. Because if it had a lightweight flywheel in it, I'd have problems driving it. And I can drive just about anything, and the thing is obnoxious. Um,
yeah.
is there anything that like you think I just brought up engagement, but that people tend to overlook or totally misinterpret when trying to purchase a clutch? I think a big one you hit on earlier was clutches are really rated in torque. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much torque their car makes, especially in the Subaru world, because let's go say stage 2 again, like a stage 2-ish STI, something basic bolt-ons, you add some ethanol and they throw a little extra timing at it, a little extra boost. It might only make 320, 330 wheel horsepower, but it can make well over 100 pound-feet of torque, you know,
Yep.
and that changes the equation completely.
Yeah. So yeah, like so probably I would say, I mean, that's probably it. Like people just they know how much power horsepower the car makes, but when the torque is always this unknown figure for a lot of people,
Mhm.
unless you have the car on the dyno. And even I have a guy's car dyno, they send me a dyno sheet, and it's like, there's no, where's the torque on it?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, it's and then you could always just kind of build in a safety factor if you're thinking about like the wheel torque number, just
Mhm.
put 15-20%, and you're gonna be pretty safe on it. So, I would, yeah, it's tough, man. We get so many different questions, but it does boil down to like it's just getting the person and getting the information out of the person to get them in the right product. And the I would say probably the stage thing, honestly, man. Like that, you would not believe how common that question is. You probably
It's
do because you
oh
sell
god,
Subaru parts
every
or whatever.
day, dude.
But
Every day.
and
Had one
the people
today.
call. Like I got a Volvo S60 and it's like it's got all the burger tunes or something on it, and you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what that means because I'm not a Volvo person.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah,
how
and
much torque
I've
does
had to
that
be
thing
very
make?
I'm a JDM guy through and through.
Sure.
Like, I'm a JDM guy through and through. Love my Mitsubishis, love the Subarus, love Nissans, and that is, like, where my car culture is, like, based in,
Mhm.
and, like, when I worked for Exit, it was great because everything was they cater to the JDM vehicles because it's a
Sure.
Japanese company, right?
Yep.
And, I come here and, like, the only thing that we sell more in Subaru is BMW stuff. And I knew nothing
Yeah.
about BMW stuff. And it's a deep dive. It's a deep dive because
Yeah.
like, I have to know enough about all these different vehicles to be able to answer questions,
Yep.
you know? And so I'll get an inquiry, and then I spend half a day just like, "Okay, well, what" they'll send the gearbox, "I got a so and so, 3S GTE with a, whatever gearbox," and I'm like, I
I
don't wanna
don't
be like,
even know
"Hey,
what
what's that
that is.
gearbox?"
Yeah.
You know? So you look into it, and you kind of formulate in an answer for them. But at the end of the day, man, the biggest it's just people overclock your cars, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a fuse. Don't go. I need okay. So I'm gonna make 1,000 horsepower. I want to do that one day. I want to put turbos out of my hood and yee yee and have a good time. Everybody wants to, right? But so they'll buy a clutch for that, and the car's stock, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna put this stage four, whatever, twin ceramic 1,300 foot-pound torque clutch in my car, but it's stock powered, and they think it's gonna last longer. It's not gonna last
No.
longer. It's
We run into the
it's
same
it's
problem with engines. The
yeah,
exact same issue all the time with engines. We have people who will they'll give us a call and they'll be like, "Hey, I want to get like our 950 block, right?" And I'm like, "Cool, how much power is how much power is this car going to make?" And they're like, "I don't think I'm ever going to take it off of a stock turbo. I just want to make sure there's this like, barrier in holding capacity or strength is not the same thing as reliability. Those are not the same word." And
no,
they have a hard time separating that. I bet you get that exact same question all the time because like we're dealing with that all the time too. That like, buddy, like our 550, our basic, rod piston engine is actually a better engine for you and will last longer. And I'm sure like for that guy, your basic organic clutch would is actually what the dude needs.
yeah. Like, especially in a street car, something that's got a fragile transmission like a WRX or BRZ or something like that, where
Hmm.
it put a soft clutch in it. It'll slip, so what?
Yeah.
It's cheaper than a gearbox.
No,
It's,
absolutely. Oh, that's
yeah,
the other thing too is yeah, you start running into these guys with a WRX 5 speed, running around with glass and I constantly am trying to stick them into some sort of organic clutch and that is the fuse. I'm like, "Dude, I want you to at least be able to make it home." You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You
yeah.
shove a
And
gear
then,
through the
like,
side.
to go more on into that, like, getting the big clutch for the stock car, like,
Mhm.
the friction material, it's way more aggressive. You have to slip the clutch more. You have to modulate it better to get a smoother takeoff.
Mhm.
Like, the engine they're typically lighter than a factory setup or a single plate setup. And yeah, like, you just overclutch the car, and then you get like a clutch like you got in your car. was triple 7 1/4.
Sure.
They'll put it in the street car and they'll be like, I got 12,000 miles out of it. Okay.
Yeah, no shit.
Like,
That's actually pretty good mileage out of a race clutch.
yeah, they're like, yeah, but your warranties for 12,000 miles. And it's like, well, it is, but like wearing a clutch out isn't a defect. It's,
No.
it's a
Yeah,
it's a wearable item,
right?
and it's the same thing as like, if you look at like, equate it to brake pads, equate it to tires, like
Exactly.
equate it to engines. Like the higher power it's capable of doing, the looser the tolerances are going to be on it. It's going to burn oil. It's going to make noise. It's going to do stuff
Mhm.
because when you're cramming 50 pounds of boost down its throat, guess what? Those rings seal up. It's happy at that power
That's
level.
where it
You
wants to
can't
be.
you can't exist at the OEM tolerances and then push it 4 times its capability, like, so it works backwards with clutches, but yeah, that's a real common one, and I feel bad because like, things are expensive, man.
It
Everything's expensive
it
right now,
is.
right? And you get somebody that's like, "Oh, my friend told me I should get this clutch. I got it in, it shakes, it shudders, it does this and that. I don't like it." And then you're like, "Well, just, get used to driving it." And then you get the call again, "Hey, it's worn out, it's slipping," and you get it, it's just smoked, and you're like, "Yeah, man, like, y I'll help you into something that's more appropriate." If you would've called me, that's not what I would've recommended, and so you get, like, you
Yes.
get ba
I think you
the guys
just nailed the thing I was gonna go to.
getting bad advice.
Yeah, like, not that I'm a massive advocate for go to car meets, talk to each other about cars, ham it up on Facebook, whatever you got to do, like mixing it up, talking about cars. This is a hobby we all should be enjoying. But
Yeah,
when you're about to spend, $1,000 plus on a clutch, clutch flywheel combo, whatever, that's just what shit costs these days. Okay, you're going to go spend some cash on this. You should probably talk to somebody who's done a lot of it. Okay, go talk to
yeah,
an expert. There is a lot of bad advice out there. And again, just like you said earlier, people's tolerance for different types of like clutch feelings and their ability to drive a manual transmission or whatever, it's different, and what people put up with and what they don't. Like, one of the things I tell people, one of my favorite clutches you guys make, and I sell the shit out of these things, is your big disc organic twin. Okay, I
yeah.
love this damn clutch. The pedal pressure's really light for its holding capacity. It drives really nice. It's lovely. In my opinion, it's like the perfect clutch. Um, but it's gonna rattle. Like, it's there's it's a twin disc. It's how it's,
Yeah.
but some people, like, they would much rather deal with a way heavier pressure plate and a much grabbier material than deal with that rattle. And it is what it is. I don't mind the rattle, but that's race car parts.
Yeah, well, that's the JDM thing.
Yeah.
Like, so like, we make that 9-inch twin, uh, for pretty much anything that got a big enough bell housing we can stick it in.
Yep.
It's the organic, the sprung organic, it's a great street clutch.
It's so good. It's
Easy
stupid
pedal
good.
effort. Like, that one for the Subaru, we use a pull style pressure plate on it, and,
Mhm.
like, that makes it because people get apprehensive about the pull. At one time, bearing pops out. Listen, man, I was a Subaru tech for 10 years, and guess what? I knock the bearing out once in a while. It
Yep.
happens. It happens. I tip the input shaft. The tip of the input shaft just hits the clutch a little bit, dislodges that little ring, and then the thing pops out. People get scared about it. I understand. Like, it sucks. Um, but like, they're levers, man. Like a push style and a pull style clutch. Like, at the end of the day, they're just like levers. Or class one, I think class three lever, right? So the pull style, like the fulcrum points all the way on the outside of the diaphragm spring in the casting. So like, you have a really good mechanical advantage.
Mhm.
And that equates into like, you can have a high clamp load with an easier pedal effort, less pedal pressure. And then you can also have a wider engagement window.
Yes.
So, you know, people are always real quick with like the 6 speeds, and even some of the older 5 speeds to go to a push style. Um, it's really popular in the Evo community, and that one go for it because that gearbox sucks to pull. Like, just, yeah,
Sure.
get rid of it. Subaru's got a really good design from the factory with the way they have the retaining spring that
I
keeps the
got to be
pressure on the
real.
four.
I I haven't personally had it happen to me, and I've only seen it
Yeah.
like once or twice, and that was
Yeah.
honestly there was probably some install error with that. Like it's actually
Typically, yeah.
nice not
I hate
having
to say it, but yeah,
to sell somebody, a different style slave and all that. And I think it's actually easier because it just pops in.
it goes in,
Yeah,
bolts
it
in.
just
Like, yeah, like
works.
you run the mechanical push conversion, which is funny
Yeah,
because I think most
on
people that I
boogie
deal
we
with
do. Yeah,
at that level of vehicle, they want a hydraulic release bearing in there.
yeah.
And I they serve their purpose. I think if you can keep a fork and keep the slave cylinder outside the bell housing, you're gonna have a better day.
Had
When
one of
something
those
does go
fail
wrong.
once, and why I've never been a fan of hydraulic bearings
Yeah.
since. Uh,
They serve a purpose, like, if the
sure,
vehicle and the gearbox or whatever is in a different chassis that doesn't really work with,
sure.
or the pedal assembly doesn't really work or something like that, like, that's great, like, they're great for that. Motorsport use, like, it's becomes a serviceable item at the end of the day, like,
Mhm.
the seal's eventually gonna fail, and when it does, you know, it's probably gonna happen at the racetrack, sorry, but
And
it's
that's
it's a
what
perfect
happened with
rule
mine. It was in
perfect
my
law, dude.
BRZ, and yeah, I don't know why he was hell bent on getting a hydraulic bearing other than I don't think Varus early on had uh
Therefore,
their
yeah.
fork out, so like he probably shit a fork and he's like, I never want this to happen again. And
Yeah,
that's the
my
route he
advice to
took.
all the BRZ 5-speed, 6-speed push type Subaru owners, get used to just replacing the fork every time you put a clutch in it.
Yeah. Well,
That if not, it's gonna break before you just do the clutch again, and you're just gonna
yeah.
be sorry. So,
Get
um,
the once you get the Varus one, it's pretty
yeah,
solid. You should replace the ball at a minimum, but that like billet
yeah,
one is solid. But man, that OEM thing, that stamped steel pile of
yeah,
shit, thing
yeah, that's what I'm
sucks.
saying. Replace that one. Like,
Yeah,
that's you always have to do that.
that
If
is
you're not
a
gonna upgrade to the Varus is a good, really nice fork.
yep.
Um, and it does, like, so the biggest thing that kills those things is like you said, the ball,
Mhm.
and um tech tip, just fill the whole pocket full of grease, like, it's not gonna get on the
Just make
clutch.
it gross.
It's just make it gross. It's gonna, like, you don't want so much that it's gonna fill up with, like, because it's just like that, you get wear from the disc, and you get dust in
Mhm.
the bell housing, and eventually it gets in there and it gets crunchy. But any vehicle that's motorsport use, like, you're servicing it, so it's just one of
Yep.
those things. I think people just they put the clutch on, they leave it on the engine, they pull the gearbox, pull the engine, whatever, slap it back on. They don't really look at it. Like, if it's a part, like, have a look at it, call us,
Yes.
email us, get some advice. We've all been like, when we did rally racing, man. Evan and I put this car together. We drove all the way from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, all the way to Portland to do
Ooh.
Mount Hood the Mount Hood
Yeah.
rally. Um, was that the one? Yeah, and then
That
we
would
just
have
had
been
some
yeah.
stupid failure that we
Yeah.
didn't pay attention to.
And
And
it
it
was
was like,
probably some stupid thing like a clutch fork, and you're done. Your whole situation's
yeah.
screwed
Oh,
over something
sorry.
really
Yeah, yeah.
dumb.
That was the story. Yeah. So we like one of the Gymkhanas came out, and
Yeah.
we put a putt clutch in the car. We had rules. Like, you got to run a factory flywheel. So we had a lot of stuff at our disposal at XE.
Okay.
So, we modified a kit and made some stuff that bolts the factory flywheel, and it was good. And there was a Gymkhana that came out, and Evan just ripped it out of the shop and did some donuts and pulled it onto the trailer and went to push the clutch in, and the car stalled. And it was like, we both knew exactly what happened, so we just wenched the car onto the trailer, drove to,
Oh, you didn't even fix
Georgetown.
it. You're just like, I know what's wrong with this. Screw it. Let's go anyway.
We were behind, dude. It's like we used to call that when we were behind, we used to call that "No Sleep to Brooklyn." We were like, "Alright,
Yeah.
we gotta leave," and we're literally working on the car until the last freaking minute, and sometimes it was just put it on the trailer. I'll work on it when we get to there, like, it's that one, we literally pulled it on. We knew we welded the clutch to the flywheel. We're like, "Yep." We tried it a couple times. You can kinda break it loose sometimes if you get real lucky with it
Yeah.
by jerking the car, and, it didn't happen. So, like, he had to do recce, and I had a whole day to, like, work on the car. So we're like, we got 20 some hours to get to, uh, wherever that is in New Hampshire, and we got there, and lucky enough, one of our friends that raced and had a bunch of money, had a stacker with a hoist in it, and we just were able to do it then, but it was like I spent the rest of that day driving that car to put miles on it to break it in. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that much. And it was like we got there, he pulled the gearbox, literally just kind of flathead screwdriver, popped the disc off the flywheel, sand all the stuff off of it, and reinstalled it and went. But like it's that sort of dumb stuff that'll ruin a weekend if you don't know what you're
absolutely.
doing.
You actually
You know,
touched on something really good too. Clutches need a break in, and a lot of people don't realize that
100%.
too.
I had a really good friend of mine, his C6 Corvette, got the car together after a few years being out. Called me this weekend, "Hey, dude, uh, put together a real nice triple plate organic for him." And he's like, "Hey, the tuner wants to put it right on the dyno." I'm
No.
like, we're doing the numbers. I'm like, "What do you think it's gonna make torque wise?" And it's like, I'm like, "The clutch would be all right, probably, but like, you probably should drive it around a little bit." Like, even it's an organic, it doesn't need like the organic. The break in is not as important as it is on the ceramic, like especially at real high horsepower levels or
No, it's good to
torque
know.
levels. Yeah, like you have more friction surface, but like it's
Yeah,
still if you pull like if you pull we get this a lot too. Like people engine goes in,
sure.
clutch goes in, new clutch. Something's wrong. They pull it back out, and they see how like the disc is all patchy and stuff's not warm, like wearing evenly, and oh my god, something's wrong. And it's like, well, that's what the clutch looks like until it's broken in. Like it's
Yeah.
just all the friction surfaces have high areas and low areas, and like when
Mhm.
it's brand new, you're only touching in those high areas. So like on a ceramic, if you put a bunch of power and the clutch gets a bunch of heat through it in those small little centralized areas, it gets so hot it fuses together because you have two metallic compounds. You have a steel flywheel and you have like a really high friction cerametallic compound.
Yeah.
Gets really hot and then just fuses and then you're done. Like you got to
Yeah.
pull it apart.
Start all
You're
over
done.
again.
Start over, but like so, like there's a less chance of that with an organic, but
Yeah.
more of a chance that like you'll slip it and like really damage it or overheat the facing. So we always recommend, I'll tell people like we say 600 to 1,000 street miles of driving. I say do it as much as you comfortable doing. Like drive it. The longer you drive the car and the easier you are, the more you let the material bed in, the better the clutch is going to
Mhm.
drive, the better it's going to perform, the longer it's going to last. Um, but there are instances and there are certain types of cars that you can't put 600, 500 street miles on. And those people, I say, just try.
Yeah, try put it
Like,
on the dyno and at least like do some starts and stuff. It's actually really crazy now the more we talk about this, how similar um we have the same problems with talking to our customers about engines as you do with clutches.
yeah.
Like there's a break-in period with this and like this might it's counterintuitive a little bit, but some of the rowdier engines like they need it's more imperative. You might not be able to get as many break-in miles, but it's still more imperative.
Mhm.
One of the things that I'm not gonna lie with Boogie, we there's no way we can put 500 miles on it. We can't.
No.
But Dylan takes the thing home back and forth. A lot of street driving, whatever, for about a week straight. And
Yeah. And
we drive the shit out of it, and it's on the dyno, and we're running it a long time because we're trying to seat rings in the engine as much as we are trying to break the clutch in. We've got new clutch goodies going in it right now, and we're gonna be doing the same thing. We're gonna put a whole pile of miles on it.
yeah, and that's what you could do. I mean, like if that's what I tell people is like you want to heat cycle it a few times. You want to shift it as much as you can, upshift it, downshift it.
Hmm.
Like when you're downshifting, don't rev match. Let it let it slip, let it hang, let it pull down on the engine.
Yep.
Um, because it's always slipping a little bit. Even when it's engaged, there's always a little bit of a slip to it. And just shifting the car, like if you're driving it and you can upshift it, downshift it, upshift it, downshift it a bunch of times, like and letting the clutch out without like, not like popping it out, but like letting like modulating, kind of
Hmm.
slipping it as you're coming out of it. That's like the best that you can do for it. Or like, cause like you get these people, well, how am I supposed to do it? Like, okay, well, would you get going 160, 170 mile an hour on a brand new set of brake pads? No, you wouldn't. Like,
No, and that's what
you
this
wouldn't.
is a giant round brake pad at the end of the day, if you really think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. 100%. So like, it's like, I understand that it's difficult, but you know, you got to do it. Like, especially on the ceramic, especially on the high clamp load ceramic stuff. Like, cause it's, again, like you got these small little portions of these high spots on the friction material making contact, and that's where all the heat is going through. It's where
Mhm.
all the power is being transferred. And the other thing too is the power. Like if you're talking surface area and clamping force,
Yep.
that's what dictates how much torque a clutch can hold. The more surface area and the higher coefficient of friction, and then the higher amount of force that you can clamp it all together with, it's going to translate to higher torque capacity. So um, you're not going to get the full potential out of the clutch, especially if the clutch is rated for 500 foot-pounds of torque and you're making 450 plus foot-pounds of torque. Like you're at that level, right? Like it'll
Mhm.
hold that 500. It may slip a little bit, because you don't have, we because it's the torque ratings are all, doesn't matter the manufacturer, they're all calculated. We're not
Sure.
putting these things on dynos and this one's this or this one's that. We know by the friction material, we know by the clamping force, we know by the surface area.
Mhm.
Like this is what it is. You put a safety factor on it, and there's your number. They all do it. Every manufacturer does
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
So we kind of know there's always these safety factors built into the numbers, but if you're not giving, if the clutches can't get the full like surface area of where to apply friction to, like it's going to reduce the amount of torque it can hold. So
Yep.
there's a break your clutch, kids break your clutches in. Just do it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Dude, we used to
Just
have
give it
problems.
something.
We used to have problems all the time when I was at Six Star Motorsports. These guys would get their clutches, right? And they'd come in, they do a clutch job, and we're like, yo, 750 miles, be real nice to this damn thing. No launching, no super hard shifts, and highway
Mm.
miles don't count. You got to do a bunch of street miles, whatever. Okay. Do not go beat the shit out of this thing. And dude, they'd make it right around the corner and you'd
Wow.
hear him, yup, you'd hear him two step off the light. You're just like, son of a bitch. And then you'd see him a week later pissed off. Like,
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you what, man, my 14 years of doing this,
yep.
the guy that calls and says, "Man, I knew better, but this fucking Honda pulled up next to me, and I wasn't gonna lose."
You're
You
gonna be
know,
that's the guy you'll help too. The guy who's being
that's the guy.
honest with you. Yep.
10 out of 10 times. The guy's going, "Oh no, man, I was just driving and
Yeah.
like I was just on the freeway and the clutch just let loose and you get it back and you're looking at it, and you're like, this thing's get the shit kicked out of it."
Dude, yeah,
And
this
but
thing is cooked.
yeah, "Oh no, no, I was just driving. It was all right. It was all right." And then the guy, yeah, just I down I got on the freeway. It was good. Like it was pulling. I
Yeah,
stayed
like,
in it.
dude,
And you're
just be
like, all right,
honest
dude.
with me. Like, why do you gotta
Just be
draw it?
honest.
Dude, and the people we're talking to, right? These people didn't buy Toyota Camrys. All right. The people who try to tell you that they drive it like it's a Camry, you're full of shit. We know you're full of
What do you,
shit. And why even play like that? Why? Like,
yeah,
I want you to go have fun with your car, and I get it. That's why we're all here. And like,
yeah,
so don't bullshit me. You know what I mean? Let me
yeah.
help you.
If you're in a car like it's making, I mean, back in my day, if it was 500 horsepower, it was a lot, right? These days, it's easy to make that on a four-cylinder
Yeah.
factory car.
Yep.
And so, like, let's move the bar to 600. If you're making more than 600 wheel horsepower on a four-cylinder, like it's modified. It's modified. It's probably got rods, pistons, and other
It's
stuff, and
very
different,
modified. Yeah.
very modified vehicle, right? My DSM, I don't know, maybe it's 500 horsepower. Haven't had a dyno long time. It's different turbos, whatever. But like it's even at 500 horsepower, the car feels like it's clunky. It's a 90s car. It feels like a freaking race car sometimes, right?
Mhm.
Like it's clunky, it's loud. It's not like it's tactile, like it's not comfortable vehicle to drive. But then you get guys that are like, I got an Evo making 1200 horsepower. It's my daily driver. You're like, dude, daily driver? Like really? Like
Yeah.
I get that. I've had that a couple times. The guy's like, well, I just drive it easy. I go, "Dude, why is it modified to 1100
What
horsepower?
that
Like,
thing
what are
is
you
going to
doing?"
be miserable to drive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, we get
And you want
Subaru guys who
like
are
a
running
second
around
clutch.
in 800-900 horsepower Subarus, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just daily drive this thing," and I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, that has got to be miserable." When's the last time you drove a normal car? You know, and if it makes them happy, it makes them happy. But
Yeah.
good god, dude, like,
I
what are you
I
doing?
and I talk to these guys, and some of them are young. Most of them are young.
Sure.
And nothing against young guys, but the I feel bad, like the affirms and that sort of shit where you can find. If I had that when I was like in my 20s,
We would have
holy,
done some dumb shit. Let me tell you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, like, and we'll get these guys once in a while, like, they'll smoke the clutch and they're like, "I'm still paying on it." And you're like, "What?" Like, the first couple times, I'm like, "What? You're
Yeah.
paying on it?" Oh, then I'm like, "Oh, firm." You're like, "Oh my god." Where and I'll tell you what happened. I used to daily drive my DSM. I used to daily drive it till, like, 2009, 2008, something like that, maybe 2010. It was daily driving that thing, man. It broke on me 3 times in 1 week. Like, I cooked a turbo, I cooked another turbo, and then my clutch went out. And I was like my buddy was like, "Hey, this girl I know is trying to sell this old shit box out back." I'm like, "How much?" Like,
Done.
"How much?"
Yes.
I'm coming to get it right now. And then, from that point on, I'll tell him, I'm like, "Listen, man, if you're gonna modify the car, that's fine, but it's gonna break. It's gonna be unreliable at times.
Mhm.
Get a shit box. Get a shit box.
Dude,
Get another way to get to work."
the best modification I ever made to my race car was buying a truck.
100%.
I'm telling you, man.
A
You
truck and trailer, you're set.
Dude,
You're like,
you
"Ah, my
could
work
go
don't
to the
break
track,
anymore."
break your car, and still go home. And it was
Yeah,
worth at least a full second on Gingerman. At least. Because that just isn't
it
in the
has to
back of your
be.
brain. You know,
Yeah.
and I once you hit a certain point with these vehicles, and honestly with a Subaru, it's about 450 to maybe 500 wheel horsepower.
Depending on the year, yeah.
Yeah, depending on the year and what you're doing and how it's built, and because like there's a real shitty 400 that is not reliable, and then there's a really well put together 500 that could be fairly hammer reliable. Um,
Yeah.
but let's assume you did it the right way, that 450 or so. Past that, it doesn't really matter how much money you spend on it. It's not going to be the greatest daily. Like, go get yourself a daily. And what you'll find is you will enjoy your fun car so much more because you don't have to make compromises anymore.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and it can be anything. Don't Yeah, I stress this. This is why I bought my cross track because I knew I'd never modify my cross track. Slow as balls, never gonna modify it. I got it
Yep.
with a manual, so it'd be mildly entertaining to drive, but it's that car served its purpose really well, and I love my truck. My truck is great
Mhm.
and it does exactly what I need it to do. But when I get into my fun car, that's what it is it's my fun car.
Yeah. It's what it has to be. And I remember, like, so my BRZ, that's why I ended up with the BRZ because I was commuting to the office. It was 60 miles each way, and
Mhm.
I'd racked up a couple 100,000 miles in 2 different Subarus, and, I was like, "Oh my god." And my buddy had a 13 BRZ he was getting rid of, and good price and low miles, and I'm like, "Let's do it." Like, I want a fun car that I can drive.
Yep.
And that car, man, I will tell you, like, I would buy another one. I didn't really like the engine, I didn't really like the gearbox. It reminded me of an S2000 in,
Mhm.
like, a great way. Like, roommate of mine back in the day, he had an S2000, we autocrossed it for a couple years, and, like, wasn't a big Honda person. I love that S2000. I
Yeah,
love that
that's
S2000.
they're
We put a gear in it. We put a
next
gear in
level.
it. Yeah, a gear and an intake and some tires and some brakes, and that thing was like I don't remember whatever class in that autocross.
Sure.
It was we were okay competitive. We sucked at driving, but the car had we put everything we could to into the car for that
Mhm.
class, and we still got beat, but I loved the shit driving that car. And then when I got the BRZ, it was like, man, this is it again. Like Detroit, like, I live in Northern Ohio
Yeah.
by Michigan. Like, sometimes we get winters. We had a pretty good winter this year. Like, I drove that BRZ back and forth to Exedy for 6 years almost, and, like, in the winters, to put snow tires on it. I can just plot on the snow lane. It was great. I love that car. And, one of the first grid lives I went to with Exedy, and we did, um, Greg Greg, Boo he's gonna Greg. I don't know. I can't think of his last name right now. He owns a drift shop down in, Georgia.
Bissell?
He's a great guy. Bussell,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That dude gave me, like, a pass for HPD,
Yep.
like, 1 or
Great
whatever,
dude.
and I took my BRZ out there, man, and I like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like, I did every session for 20 minutes in that car, and I drove it from Ohio
Mhm.
Toledo to South
That
Haven.
car makes a whole lot of sense once you get it on track. You take it to Tail of the
Yeah,
Dragon, you're doing autocross. Like I
yeah,
gotta be
did all
real.
that, yeah.
Northern Ohio, that area between, Detroit and Ohio, that it's all pretty flat, pretty boring. There's not a whole lot of curves. That
Real boring.
car doesn't like daily driving that car, you can start to question what you're doing, but the second you get it in its actual environment, that car makes a ton more sense.
Yeah.
Ton more sense.
Yeah, because like, the whole daily driver thing, like, I took that car up there, and I remember on Sunday being like, "I don't know if I need to do the whole 20 minutes." It's
Yeah,
like, I gotta
yeah, you're
drive this
just
thing
like,
home.
yeah.
Like, I had, like, stock brakes on at the time, like, I just wasn't prepared, like, Greg is like, "Hey, you wanna get on track?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do. Never done it before, but, like, let's go. Like, I like racing, I like cars, I like doing
Yeah,
this sort of stuff. I'm gonna go out there and just, and
it's
I
a
really
road with no
enjoyed it.
speed limits.
I ended up going back for, like, their October event, and I had
Mhm.
brakes, tires, and, gotta get all this sort of stuff, and then it rained all weekend, and I was like, "Fuck, what am I doing?"
I
Like,
remember
I'm
both of
not
those events.
yeah. So I was there, I slept in the truck the whole thing, it was great,
Yep.
and I was like it was a lot of fun, like, I really love that BRZ, I didn't have to sell it, but I got rid of it because I bought a truck.
Yeah,
It's like
which I get it, like,
the DSM stayed, it stayed,
yep.
it's been on the chopping block a
Don't
few
you
times, my
don't
wife won't
you
let me
ever
sell
get
it.
rid of the DSM, but if
No, I don't think I will, but I
you
think
should
about it.
pick up another BRZ before they, like, turn into S14s and get crazy expensive.
I would love to slap, like an LS and the T56 in it or something, or I always thought
I'm
it'd
gotta
be
be real,
sick to
dude.
put a
It'd ruin it. You w I
ruin it.
it would ruin it. What you need to do with a BRZ is you get a 1st gen and you stick the 2nd gen engine in it, and it pops you up to about 230 to the wheels with the basic bolt-ons, okay?
Yeah,
And then you do suspension and you never fucking touch it again. You just go. It will
yeah,
clear ground. That jump in power is enough to completely change the way the car feels. Plus it brings a lot of mid-range in that it didn't have before. The car just feels better everywhere. And one of the nice things about that car is it's not obnoxiously fast, so you can have a lot of fun with it at lower speeds. If you stick
just
an LS in that thing, it's gonna be legitimately stupid fast, which don't get me wrong is fun, but it's also missing the point a little bit.
right, yeah. It's like the whole, like, driving a slow car at 10 tenths versus driving a fast car at, like,
Exactly.
5 tenths. Yeah,
Low car
you could
fast is always more fun.
yeah. Huh. See,
Yep.
it was that, I thought it'd be fun to maybe, like, try to stick a 4G in it,
Mm.
like
God, you're
yeah.
out here trying to make enemies. Remember, this is a Subaru podcast, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. Or, yeah, well, I'm gonna make some real good friends. The K swap in those things is another really good
Okay,
thing.
swap works out, but the FA24 literally just pops in. You stick a link ECU on it, and it just works. You don't need a
Yeah,
swap kit. You don't need shit. And it's all you
yeah,
need. And you make as much power and a little more torque than you would from a K. So
there you go.
it's
Simple.
just the answer. It really is. Or the new
Yeah,
BRZ, you just buy one of the 22 pluses that already have it and the interiors are a little nicer and whatever. But I actually prefer the old one because it's kind of a shit box and you kind of don't care about it, which makes it better. You're gonna go
it always
drive the
does.
shit out of it. You're not gonna try to keep it nice. Like fuck keeping that thing nice. Go beat the snot out of it.
Oh, yeah. Drift it in the snow, jump
Yeah.
it, do all sorts of fun stuff with it.
Beat it
It's a
to death.
Miata. Yeah. It's, yeah, I don't know, man, I would love to have that again. Probably when the kids get a little older, I'll probably get something else that's, back there.
Get a
I don't know,
Sunday
man.
car, man. They're great.
Well, here's the thing, man. I moved out of the city. I live out by Lake Erie. I'm 500 feet from the lake.
Nice.
Fucking love boating. Love boating. It's the
Yeah.
best.
That's
Like, I spent so many summers at the racetracks, and so it's nice just to be able to, like, go to the sandbar and just hang out with the kids and
just
jump
chill.
around,
Yeah.
and
It'll come
yeah,
back,
yeah.
dude. I'll see you at the
It'll come
track
back.
again. Don't worry. But like, I
Ye
could totally
yeah.
understand what you're doing, especially with the kids. Why wouldn't you, dude? It's
Right.
hard to
I
fit
don't
a
know,
whole
it's
pile of
really
kids in a BRZ. I'd know.
right. They are though, man. My son's getting around. He's 5 now, and he's getting to the point where, like, he asked me the hardest question the other day, and like, it was a burn. Like, I had a burn by such a young kid. He's like, "Daddy, what do you have a race car and you don't drive your race car?"
Ooh,
Like, oof.
Good kid.
Like, yeah, yeah. It is like, I'm like, oh, that's a good point. I'm like, I don't have a good reason. Like, you're right, we should. And then like, he likes to help sit out in the garage and tinker with it. He thinks it's too loud. Like I started up and he's like, it's too loud. I'm like, well, like
And
it's
that's kids to
the way it
start out
goes.
with. Like the other
Yeah.
day, my kid, he's 7 now, so he's my youngest. He's 7, and he loves my bug eye. Like absolutely loves the damn thing. Like
Uh,
he is absolutely fallen in love with it, and it was really cool that like he's not super into cars, but really loves this. And now through that, he's starting to like look at other cars, and it's fun to like follow him through that. My oldest, who is 17 now, like he's not really in, he never was, and that's cool. There's, you do your own thing. But it I don't know, for me, like my 7-year-old thinking my car is cool is so much cooler than like anybody else thinking my car is cool. Like and
when the young kids give you props, it's the best. It really is the best.
biggest come up. Like people don't
It
understand.
is.
If some little kid is like, that's awesome, like it just takes you back to being like a 7 or 8 year old and thinking what was awesome. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
if he thinks it's
100%.
awesome, I
100%.
am so cool right now.
Like, we had a Holden Commodore Ute here for a few years, right? Like we shipped
Cool.
it over from Australia. The whole El Camino
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
G8, right?
Yep.
That car, I drove it around a few times, had some fun stories with it and stuff, but like it would just get mobbed at the gas station. And it was like the
How
kids,
wouldn't
were
it?
just like, what is this thing? Like,
Yeah,
you're on the wrong side of the car. It was a nice car. I mean, headers, full exhaust,
sure.
supercharged LS3, whatever it was, LS6, or I don't know, whatever the hell it is, but
Whatever.
it's 6.2. So it was 6 liter LS. It's an Australian thing, but like, dude, the kids are the best. Like, yeah, you do it for the kids, man. That's
Dude.
where it is. Like, I went
Yep.
to the Summer Nats event that was a couple weeks ago. It was at the Freedom Factory in Bradenton,
Yep.
and um dude, I saw this kid just geeking out about this car. Just geeking out about this car. And I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I wish I still had that enthusiasm about this stuff, right? Like you
Yeah.
see it, you're like, that's
It
sick,
gets
man.
you
That kid,
hyped too. Like it
yeah,
brings you to that place, dude. Do it
yeah,
for the kids, man. That's so the
yeah.
truth. That
Yeah, it's the best, man. Like, and the fact that he's kind of getting into it, which is pretty neat. Like, I'm not gonna try to force the kids into stuff. Like, I didn't
yeah.
get into cars until I was like in my like almost 20. Like,
Yep. I
I
was the
wasn't
same way.
exposed to it as a kid. Like,
Mhm.
my family wasn't around it. It wasn't something I gravitated to,
Yep.
and it was just like going for a ride one time, and I'm like, this is cool. And I hate to say it, and I'll take all the flack for it, dude. Fast and Furious, man. Like
Brother,
that's
it wasn't, I was just before that, but what really sent it over the edge for me
yeah,
was that damn movie too. And anybody who tries to say that they're
yeah.
around our age and that didn't directly influence them, they're lying.
They're lying. I was with you, I was a little ahead of it, probably like a year before that movie came out, I was
Mhm.
into it. Like, I lived in Atlanta at that time.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy were out street racing as EG, fucking
Yep.
Civic, like, all night long, like, running 16s or whatever,
Sure.
man. Like,
Yeah.
it had VTEC, it crossed over, it was sick, but you would race anybody that stopped up next to you, man. It was just all night long street racing. It's stupid as shit. It was looking back, it's dumb. Like, I don't do
Yeah,
it.
but it's dude, we all did it, and we had some good times. It was all stupid, but we had
Very
some
dumb.
times. Um
Yeah. I
but
remember going and seeing that movie when it was in the theaters, and, like, the parking lot when we left
was
was
chaos.
100%. It's just like, some dude hopped the curb, these
Yeah.
people was doing burnout, like, neon lights, the whole shit. It was like, we left and it was like, we were all jazzed up, man. We went back to his house, fucking painted the interior pieces and stuff like that, like, like
Dude,
total early
yeah, we
2000s
were
speed.
all that though. We were all that, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
yeah.
into it probably hell not even a year before that. Like I was into Gran Turismo and stuff like that, but none of it
Same,
seemed
yeah.
real to me. And then I was at comm school in California, and I was basically being a DD for these guys because I didn't drink, and they their favorite thing to do was go out to the street races out there. And that's where I got exposed to all that. I'm like, oh my God. Because at that point I wanted a Trans Am really bad. And then dude, all of that went right in the toilet when I started going to the street races in Cali. And yeah, and then that movie hit. And what's even crazier is there were some guys on base who were actually extras in that in the movie. If you watch where Dom's like, behind if you look, all those dudes have high and tights. They're all Marines.
All right.
So it was yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, anybody who tries to like, oh, it's hokey, but this movie got me. Dude, that movie got us all into it. Like there's
Oh yeah.
dude, it was literally a before and after that movie. Like the time was
Oh yeah.
different.
It was completely different, man. Like, and
Yep.
like being in Georgia, being in Atlanta, like there was a Nopi store right down the road from the house.
Oh my
Like
dude,
you
I
could
bet
post it
you
up.
that was insane when that after that movie. The shit that was
Oh,
rolling in there.
oh, it was ridiculous, man. It was crazy. Like it was, and like it was such a different time with stuff. Like the internet's. I'll be honest, man. The internet's ruined cars for me. Like it really has.
It has
Like it's like the unobtained. It's all about like how much power and this, that, and the other. And like you miss the mediocre tuned cars, right? Like
you
the
missed the
big cars
shit.
get the attentions, right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's a buddy of mine said this and it's really stuck with me that we'd all be better off if 350 horsepower was a lot again.
Right.
Like
Right.
like literally the community would be better off.
Yeah. Like dude, if you have a 10-second street car, you're gonna crack a lot of asses with it.
Yes.
100%. Like it's a fast car. It's a fast car.
That's a
Like,
silly
it's got like
fast car.
1,000. You're like, dude, 1,000 horsepower is a lot of power, buddy.
Yep.
Like it's a lot of power. Like
What's
it isn't just you can't just jump into it.
I'm constantly telling people this too. I'm like, dude, like a high 400, 500-ish wheel horsepower Subaru, that's a high 10 car. Like if you
Yeah.
can wheel that, that's a high 10 car. That is not slow. That's in jail in 3 seconds in all 50 states, no problem. There
Right.
is
It was
next to
top.
nothing that is going to streetlight you. Like outside of a modded GTR or new 911 turbo, like that's what it's going to take, or maybe like a Tesla, like
Yeah, fucking Teslas.
yeah. Talk about having no soul. Um,
They're fast. I get it. They're fast. But, like,
but there's
fucking
yeah,
dude.
that's literally the only thing it is, and it can accelerate from 0 to about 100, and that's about it.
It'll make
Whatever.
fart noises. If you let
Yeah.
it,
eh.
you know. Whatever.
I had a couple of questions.
Yeah.
And it's more like actually you all but one of them you answered. Serapin Wolf, who's like long time, he's basically king listener. He just wanted your opinion on the like a sealed clutch option, kind of like Uniclutch. What's your take on that? Like I guess what I don't want you to do is wander into maybe talking about brands or whatever, but it is a style that I think I've gotten questions from it before, and I really don't. I don't even know how to approach that. So, what is your take on the Uniclutch?
The Uniclutch. So let me tell you this.
Yeah.
It's another Australian company.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know if you know which one it is, but it's another Australian company.
Okay.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I don't think it applies to everything. You can't just take a
Yeah.
clutch and just slap it across everything. It is a very interesting idea. Like it's very interesting to me, and I think it's a very innovative thing that they've done. I don't know if it's working as well as you would think it would work. There's a lot of moving parts. Like you got to pick the right spline. You got to make sure the setup. It isn't for. It's not a DIY thing.
Yeah.
And the U.S. is very DIY. Right?
Yes.
Canada, Australia, they can't conceive that you're gonna put this clutch in your car in your garage, right?
Yep.
No, it's gotta go to a workshop, and people at the workshop, they gotta have training, they gotta apprentice this, that, and the other. It's like, no, dude, like I can pass this ASE test, like I still have my ASE certifications. You know, like you can pass
Yeah.
the test and then you're certified and you can go work on a car. And just because you're working at a shop, I hope that you're qualified, right?
Yep.
Like that's the idea. But um, the truth is unless it's like a performance shop, not a lot of places are doing clutch work,
Yeah.
right? Like dealerships, I hardly ever saw them. Like I was the tech at the dealership that would work on modified cars, so
Hmm.
like I got that work, right? Because
Sure.
I wasn't afraid. You know, we got coilovers and stuff. Bring it in, dude. I'll align it. I don't care. I know how it
Yep.
works. You know, I'll just charge you a little extra.
Yep.
It's not gonna be the flat rate. It's gonna be an extra rate, right?
Sure.
Um, and something like that where like there's a lot of setup involved. Buddy, we have like us including hydraulic release bearings and like our domestic kits, which they come from the factory with hydraulic bearings in it. We supply spacers, we supply it as close as we can to be a bolt and a fair out of the box. You still got to take some measurements. You still got to set the bearing gap. You still got to set the hydraulic bearing up so that's positioned correctly in the bell housing to work with the clutch, because the clutch isn't the same height as the OEM, or it's manipulated in a way.
Sure.
Like the amount of travel that it needs is going to be different than the factory. Um, and we do, I think one thing that XClutch does very well is the amount of information that we put in our clutch kits.
Hmm.
Our YouTube, the Australian Clutch Services YouTube page is a plethora of information. We don't have it on our XClutch YouTube page because it's like we didn't want to just double post the videos. And but like our TSBs that we include in the kits, like they got QR codes to go to a video that literally like our engineer made the videos and was showing you how to set this stuff up. But you put that sort of clutch, like the uniclutch, into a car, you're putting it a lot of times with dual mass. I get some feedback from like the GR Corolla guys.
Yeah.
We do good business with that because we had the GR Yaris. We, as a company, we bought one in Australia and developed a clutch in our facility for it. And we make a really, really nice clutch with that GR Corolla. Really nice clutch. Like bolts to the factory, dual mass flywheel. If you want that sort, we have single mass kits. We have motorsport kits. We have a really nice clutch for the GR Corolla, but we get people that want to use a uniclutch because they can use a factory flywheel. Like that car being a 3-cylinder direct injection, high compression car, you get rid of the factory flywheel, you got a lot of NVH going on.
Hmm.
You got ticking, you got vibrations, all sorts of stuff going on. And that car is really bad for it. So a lot of people want to keep the factory flywheel. Well, the uniclutch goes, well, we can just bolt it to the factory flywheel. Well, dude, dual mass flywheels, they wear out.
Yeah.
It's a dampening mechanism. It's got springs and moving parts in it. It wears out, like it will break. So that part of it, if it sketches me out, um, the setup of the clutch is difficult because I deal with these people hand in hand that buy our product, and we do a really good job with giving you what you need and getting you 99% of the way there. But there's some sort of our applications that there is some setup involved, and just getting people to get consistent measurements out of stuff is like
Oh,
you
it's
wouldn't
an
believe.
yeah.
People say
I know.
people send you pictures with tape measures, and you're
Yeah.
like, bro, we're talking like millimeters.
Yeah,
Like
I need you to bust out a caliper right now. Like,
something,
yeah, there's
right?
taking a tape measure up to like the the side of a clutch trying to like get
Yeah,
you thickness. Like, bro.
yeah, yeah. So like I think what the uniclutch does is very interesting. I will tell you, we bury that business in Australia.
Yeah.
Bury it. Bury it
I
in their home turf.
it's not
And I don't want to do that, but like
yeah.
that one, I get a lot. Like they have really good marketing behind the product,
Yep.
right? Like I said, it's a very interesting in theory. Very interesting in theory. I don't think it's going to be something we're going to see around for a while.
Y-
I think it's too complicated.
Yep.
You can't just give it to Joe Schmo and go here, bolt this to your stock flywheel, and it's going to work perfectly because it's like I tell you, it's difficult. You
Yeah.
know, we do as best as we can to engineer things to work. We put them in a vehicle. Sometimes they don't work. Like the A90 Supra, we had to do it a couple times to get that one right. Now we got a fantastic clutch for that car,
Hmm.
and it was what worked on paper. Once it was put into practice, didn't work right.
Yep.
Right. So those are the unforeseeables that you have to deal with sometimes, and that's why like you have to vet the product. You have to get the product in the vehicle. You have to give the product to people like you that will wear the ever living shit out of the friction material, and
Let's
it still
break it.
works. Like so you can point to it, go look. This guy, there was no friction material left on the disc. It was still holding. I'm baffled on that one. I'm
Dude,
baffled on that
it
one.
drove perfect. Like when he pulled it out, I'm like, there's no fucking way, dude. We beat the hell out of that thing. And it's just, yeah, he pulled it out and like there's friction material like off it. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. I love to see that stuff, man. I
Yep.
love it, dude. Because I think you sent me pictures of it, like the time it was out before then, and it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, fucking. You gave me some measurements. I think like Dylan hooked me up with some measurements or whatever, and it was good. And it was like, yeah, just fucking send it, dude. It's good. Just fucking
Yep.
put it back in. Because those discs, like that triple plate that you have, like we use the same basket for a twin plate. It's just you thin
Mhm.
the disc out they make it work. So like those, I think that disc has like 100 like point 0.1 inch,
Yeah, they're
you know,
they're
this
teeny.
thin. I think it's
Yeah.
3.7 millimeters if I
Yep.
want to talk metric. Um, so like it's tiny, but like it doesn't need to wear. They don't wear a lot because of it. It's a
Yep.
really aggressive material. But that was impressive, man. You're like, ah, I'm like, holy shit, dude, it was fine. Like that's great.
It didn't care. I was like, holy shit. Dylan was blown away too. I mean, we pulled
Yeah,
it in and out of the shop quite a few times and everything since last season. Like it'd been driven a bunch. It wasn't something that like happened at the last event. Like it's still been driving just fine. So
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
So I hope I answered the question about the uniclutch. Like it's just it's a silly like I don't know, it's silly, but
Well,
it's
I
just
got kind of a
it's an interesting
question on
concept.
that. So I see this a lot because I'm constantly talking to people. Ship engines all over the place, and you're shipping clutches all over God's creation. You know, international company. It is what it is. Um, I feel like North America, and especially like the U.S. in general, is kind of an anomaly that the majority of our customers are working on their own stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when it's not that people aren't doing that in other countries, but I would say like the percentage is drastically skewed. Like here, it's probably like 60% of the people are working on their own stuff, 40 are taking it to a shop, even though it should probably be like 70 should be taking it to a shop. Um, and then other countries, I feel like it's more like 80 or 90%. People are just not they're taking their stuff to a shop versus working on it themselves. Do you see kind of that same split?
Yeah, I'd say it's fair. Like that same split applies to the amount of people that trailer their vehicles to the racetrack versus driving on the street. You know, like in the
Yeah.
same countries, like my mates in Australia, they just think that the shit that we drive on the streets is just mental. They're like, dude, it's just, like we'd get defected so quick if we drove that on the street. They would just show up to your house and lock you up. Like there's no playing in those
Straight to
countries when
jail.
it comes to that sort of
Straight to
straight to
jail.
jail. Like, you post any of this stuff on like your Facebook, he's like they'll come knocking at your door, and
Yeah.
this is your car. You're doing a burnout. This is this intersection. Like, let's go.
Yeah,
You know,
dude. And
and,
we're all
and
throwing
that
our
does
cars on 1320 video and it's getting like freaking a
Mexico.
yeah, we're in Mexico. Everything's fine.
It's fine. You know. So yeah. What was the question on that one? It was the split. Yeah, it definitely is a DIY thing here,
Yeah.
100%. And especially with YouTube these days. And I'm guilty of it, man. I am a YouTube boat
Hell
mechanic.
yeah, dude.
100%. Hell yeah, dude. Like if somebody's that got something, I'm mechanically inclined enough that if I can watch somebody do something, I can figure my way through it,
Mhm.
right? Like I'm very mechanically inclined when it comes to things like that. And like so I don't knock the YouTube mechanic. However, knowing what I know about clutches, there's a lot of bad information out there, and there definitely can be, right? So
Oh yeah.
and I think a lot of times you watch the whoever content creator and maybe they don't always show you the bad side stuff, right?
That's
Um,
something that drives me up the wall is we live in
yeah,
an Instagram world right now where you see the good stuff and then you don't see what happened 20 minutes later when somebody shoved 800 horsepower through a stock block and shoved a rod through the side. You
right.
don't see that. You
Yeah,
only see the glory. The dyno runs and it made this amount of horsepower.
yeah. Or the guys being sponsored, not running product.
Yeah.
That's a reality. And the first time I got wind of that, like in this industry, it changed my mind. I got friends of mine that are a lot of my friends are car guys,
Yeah.
gals, and I see behind the curtain. I see behind the curtain,
Yeah.
and it's like, hey, that might not be. Oh no, but no, it's not. it might be, but I've seen plenty of race cars with Michelin's on them with, Pirelli's painted on the side of them or vice versa, right?
Yep.
Like I only got the Pirellis, but I'm sponsored by BFG and I got the BFG spray painted on the side of the tire,
Yeah.
and
No,
to the
that
uninformed onlooker,
super,
like that's what
super,
just the running.
that's ungodly uncool. I wish more people would call that out. And I have seen that quite a few times. It's one thing if like
I
you're running a series that like maybe you can't run said tire. Tire's a good example.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
like, but
Mhm.
the sponsor should know about that. There should be a relationship. It shouldn't just be some under the table weird shit going on. And it is
Yeah.
that
Sometimes
happens.
there is.
Yeah, and that is not cool. That is so not
Mm.
cool. And that hurts everybody
I
else. Like I know this is we're a bit off topic here, but from somebody who's been trying getting sponsorship for Time Attack can be rough. Even when we're having success at doing whatever, it is not easy. So finally, convincing somebody to get some help and we get it. If we were to be cheesy and not run the product, or oh my god, dude, like and hearing people who are getting this product and not running it, oh, I just want to choke
Yeah.
somebody. That
I don't
makes it
I don't
hard
play
for
that game.
everybody.
I don't play that game.
No,
Like it's one of the things, like if you want sponsored by XClutch from me, like, it's gotta go through me.
yeah,
And like I want you to run the product. I want you to run the product 100%.
yeah,
Like, and it's one of the things that like there are companies that just don't care. Like, yeah, well, we gave him $250,000 and he's gonna promote us and it's doing great. And like that's great. But at the end of the day, like, you don't have the product in the car. Because part of the reason the reason why people like you get the product is because one, you're winning. You're
sure.
you're in the front, right? You're representing. You're doing good. You can point. We manufacturers like us can point to you and go,
Yeah.
Look,
They won the championship. Yeah. Like, and they're
Yeah.
using our product, which is cool. That works out,
Yeah, and
but
then
did it
like
move the needle, and that's
you
the
gotta
thing.
move the needle, and you sell the product, which is fantastic.
That's,
It's a win-win.
I've got an advantage over a lot of even like my own competitors that I sell this product. So it's a little easier for me to go to somebody like you and go, hey, you know, I already sell a lot of this and I want to show it off. And I like, if you scroll up, you'll see Jordan bought the exact same clutch I have in my car because it worked in my car,
Yeah.
and that works out. I sold it, you sold it, everybody wins. But if you go pay, some grotesque sum of money to some YouTuber, did it actually move the needle? And that's the real question there. And I'm I think the market, I think marketing has been stuck into looking at view counts versus like, is this person actually like moving product? Like, is it really, are they talking to the right people, or is this getting in
Yeah.
front of the right eyes and the right audience? And like, it's something I've always had. Man, I'm probably going to make some enemies here when I say this, but it's a problem I've always had with drifting. Okay. It's not drifting so much as like engines and stuff like that, because in my opinion, like if you see these guys bouncing off a red line, they're beating the shit out of it and they're running JE pistons. That means something to me. Like, this dude's living on red line. But if they're sliding around corners, just melting tires and throwing them away, and they're sponsored by a tire company, like, I don't think that's actually a good like comparison. And then, you have somebody like me who's taking a small 200 tread wear tire and setting lap records with it. To me, it seems like that's a better representation of the product. And yeah, I might not be getting, 500,000 views off of every single thing that I post, but the people who are seeing it, I think, are a better representation of people who are probably going to purchase the product. So like, I for lack of a better term, I think the penetration rate on, somebody like me or another competitor or whatever is probably better, say for a tire or a clutch or whatever, than maybe it when we're talking from a performance standpoint, then, somebody who's just getting a whole heap of views and maybe not even running the product actually, which is,
Yeah.
that at that point, you might as well just pump a bunch of money into some Facebook ads. because really it's the same thing.
Yeah, you get a bunch of messages. Tell me more about your ad. Tell me more about your company.
Yeah,
Who the hell is this person? No, like you're 100% right, man. Because like drifting is fantastic for Clutch because like they get the shit kicked out of it. And there's a
exactly.
point to
Like,
drifting and going,
dude,
hey,
you
look
look
at
at what
this.
this dude is doing to this cars. He's kicking the shit out of this motherfucker with like,
Yeah,
1,000 wheel horse. Yeah, that makes sense. I totally get that. So like you sponsoring a drifter, ton of sense. A
Yep.
tire company sponsoring a drifter, I gotta be real, I don't understand it.
right. Other than the drift team, they need the discount because they're
Yes.
burning through 20 sets of tires a weekend or whatever it is. So to maybe equate that, and I'm like you're making, I'm gonna make some enemies too now. So
By all means, we're
like
here to
show
party,
cars,
dude.
like show cars. Like,
Oh, that's a hard
what
one.
purpose is it me giving? Like, here's the thing: if you hit us up and you want to run product, happy to work with you.
Yep.
Right? Might not get free. I'll hook you up. Right?
Sure.
Please don't blow my inbox up, but I will help you out. I want people because the best form of advertising is word of mouth.
Yes.
Like word of mouth. Like if you running it, then you're telling your buddy you got a Subaru. Oh, man, I blew a clutch on my Subaru. What are you running? I got this XClutch 777 It does this. What Dylan put in the chat. Same thing with the drift guys. Like you got guys that have issues with the clutch. They're burning up the clutch or whatever it is. You got the guy. I haven't touched the clutch all season. What do you got in it? I got this 9-inch twin strand.
Guess what they're gonna buy?
Not the latest clutch, but it's gonna work.
Yep.
And that's the best. So like if you interested in XClutch, hit us up. sales@xclutchusa.com.
Yep.
Tell them Steve sent you. I'll answer the email. Mandy will answer the email. We'll get you sorted out. I'm always happy to help people out with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I want people running the product. If you're racing and if you're going to put a sticker on the car, yeah, let's do something, right?
Yep.
But we get a lot of like, they'll send the follow. I got this many followers. I got this many views on TikTok. Like, dude, I don't think TikTok views are real. I stay off TikTok because I got off Instagram years ago because it was just a time suck.
Sure.
Right? It's a time suck. I'm not trying to promote myself. I got people that promote XClutch. They do that in Australia. I'm not trying to gain anything. I'm stepping back because it was just sucking my time. And same thing with TikTok. Like I got on it one time and I'm like, dude, this is bad.
Well, the reality of it is it shouldn't be you doing it anyway. It should be me doing it, and us showing this picture of that clutch and going, this thing still held fine. You know what and it's our job to do that. And getting involved with the right people matters. But if you're just
relationships,
you're pumping, if a company's just pumping money into somebody it's just a click farm, like are you really actually seeing sales in the end of it? Like what are you really getting out of it? It's one of the reasons I got to be real. Like, and to your point, a show car is a very good example. A show car, like, are you really showing our product doing something? Yeah, it's a really nice, and maybe you win some shows and you go to some stuff, but first off, you make the prettiest product you can't even see. So like, you're not really going to move the needle with that at all. No. It's,
you're not going to see it unless you got some like clear bell housing, which doesn't exist. Like if you got a show car, like you getting wheels, McGuire's, whatever, chemical guys, tent company.
Yeah, those make sense.
Sure. My one car group chat, we were talking about grounding wires the other day. Like remember the grounding kits?
Yeah. Hey, they made a difference on a bug eye. Tell you what, because the rounds are just trash. Yeah. Grounding kits, bro. Got to get them in bright pink and all that shit. Dude, some people made some big money back in the early 2000s with those.
Imagine.
Oh my God. They're like $250 grounding kit. Now, if you were to like adjust for inflation, it's like $400 for some wires.
Like you see what like a Tesla taillights pull these days?
Yeah.
Like the APC clear fucking whatever.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
We all threw those in the garbage.
What I think is the most wild is that like undercar glows come back.
Oh, underglow is the shit. Do you remember if you ran underglow for like around that like 2004 time period where JDM started going hard and everybody like really shunned doing body kits and everything? Like you were like everybody was trying to pretend they were OG. The amount of people, like, you couldn't find underglow anymore. Now underglow's it, dude. Like, it's all coming back around. It's all coming back around. We're putting underglow on buggy.
I used to install them, and it was like a tube. It was like a fluorescent
Yeah.
tube that went under the car. You'd hit a rock or something, it'd shatter the tube, and you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
Now
you go and do it
now
again.
you got LED strips. It's like it's in everything, man, you know?
All right,
Sick.
bro.
I I've thought about it. I've thought about putting it on the DSM. I don't know if I can though, but I got it on my camper.
Yeah, that's hot. There you go.
Campground stunting.
That's what's up, dude. They don't know about that. Yeah, I got some RGB action on my my RV on the side of it, and it's dude, you got to pop it up, and especially
I
when
got
you're
an
at
old
grid
rig. It
life, dude.
doesn't
You got to
have, like,
look
the
good.
light.
Yeah,
It doesn't have the light in the awning, so, like, I need light at nighttime, so, like, it's underneath
that's
it.
what's up, dude. All right, bro,
Really,
dude.
really,
Steve, this has been great. I'm happy you came
yeah.
on. We'll have to do this
It's a lot
again
of fun,
sometime.
man.
But
Anytime, dude. Anytime. I can be a fill-in. Just let me know. I'm pretty
yeah,
open. So,
no, this
and
was
I enjoy this, dude. I enjoy the shooting shit, talking about cars, talking about dumb stuff, talking about the industry.
that's what
Like,
this is supposed to be.
yeah. So anytime, man. I'm here.
If people were to get a hold of you, I mean, you already kind of said it, but if people were to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a
Yeah.
hold of you? You said email, right?
Yeah, tin can. Like, if you send me, like, if you can just send something to my PO box, like, that's the best way to do it. Like,
Yeah.
just like writing a check. No, no, no. You can sales. So XClutch. We got a Facebook, we got an Instagram.
Sure.
I don't think we have a TikTok, but it's all at XClutch USA. Um, the website xclutchusa.com. Like, check it out. It's pretty
Yep.
sweet. We put a lot of time and effort into it. You can general contact email sales@xclutchusa.com. Mine's just Steve at xclutchusa.com. You can spam Mandy at Amanda.
I was about to say,
Rogers
I was just
at
about to bring that
XClutchUSA.
up. Mandy is OG Subaru royalty, honestly, especially in the Midwest. And
Yeah.
I was really hyped to see she was over there working with you guys now. Like Mandy's awesome.
Yeah, she's been a great addition. We're happy to have her. Like some of the people may know or may not know, but like we're like sister company to Disc Brakes Australia. So
I
she works
actually
across
did
both
not know that.
businesses.
I had no
Yeah,
idea. Yeah, DBA is
yeah. So
great.
we're
Sell the shit out of
yeah,
those.
so we were like when I started, we were a privately owned business, but changed hands 21.
Hmm.
So we're owned by an Australian holding company called Amotive, and they just have all these Australian automotive companies. And so they acquired Australian Clutch Services, which is our parent company. So and then they also own Disc Brakes Australia and Ryco Filters and a bunch of Vision X is another US brand they have.
Cool.
But yeah, so she works between both companies. She's been a great she knows Subarus. We sell a lot of Subaru stuff, so it's pretty
Yeah,
easy
especially with
fit there.
DBA.
But she does customer service and order entry for both XClutch and Disc Brakes Australia. So she's key. She's great to have. I'm so happy to have her. So
Sick, man.
but yeah, and then 866-925-8824. That's our phone number. And
And they
whatever. We're
actually
easy
do
to find.
pick up the phone. I've called them on multiple occasions, and unlike a lot of companies, there is somebody like a human being on the other side of that. So
There's two of us, so
yeah.
sometimes it gets busy, right? So it's myself and Amanda for the US.
Hmm.
We have a warehouse in Ohio that everything kind of ships out of and goes out of, but it's a small operation. We're growing, so I'm sure we'll have some more people coming on in the near future. But yeah, that's it, man. Socials, hit us up. We had a lot of people message us on Facebook and Instagram, but like just email us. It's probably the best way to get a hold of anybody
Yeah.
at our business. It's just email. And yeah, I mean, just check us out. We'll be at Wicked Big Meat.
Sick.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can make Grid Life Midwest work. Maybe just come out and hang out. Or
If
something.
Midwest does, oh, dude, just come hang. If you're not there as a
Yeah.
vendor, like I don't, not to, dude. If you're just coming to hang, just come to hang. But I got to be real. The one they're gonna do at Watkins this year is gonna be crazy. So if you can't make Midwest, go to Watkins.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to look and see. It's a tough, man, because like I do all the
Mhm.
events, and it's tough to get to multiple events a month, or if they get stacked up.
Just
And
come hang
like
out,
it seems
dude.
like
Just come
yeah,
chill.
dude,
Yeah, dude, you can hang out at our RV. We'll just shoot the shit. You can make it make sense by shooting a little content or whatever, and then
that always makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, then it
And
makes sense.
if they got drifting going on, we'll have drivers there.
Yeah.
We do a lot with drifting, so like
Dude, there you
we
go.
got a guy. Yeah, it's easy, man. The Midwest, like I love the Grid Life, man. It's really expensive to be a vendor there.
Yeah. And it's only going to get worse. I got to be real, especially you saw the TV
Yeah.
deal go through, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's just gonna go up. Like,
Mhm.
I like I said, I did the first Grid Life Midwest Fest with
Yeah,
Exidy, and it was like low key, and I did them for a number of years, and then we did a couple with XClutch, and it's just like I love the events. It's just it's expensive for a small business. We're a
I
small
get it.
business, man. We are.
Yep. No, like
You know.
it's not very big. I mean, even XClutch over, if you were to put the entirety of the company together, I mean, what are you talking, 25 employees? You know, like,
Yeah. Over globally. Yeah.
yeah,
50,
yeah,
50,
like
60, somewhere
50.
in there.
Yeah, that's literally globally. So, like, that's,
US. It's 1.5.
yeah, because Mandy's working for like a couple of different, yeah.
Yeah. So it
Good,
is
man.
it's tough, but like yeah, dude, I'm stoked. I'm super happy to work with you guys again. Uh like you guys are just killing it. Like congrats on winning. Like that's a serious competitive racing, series and to
Yeah,
come out on top like what 2 years in a row, right? Like
we won 2 championships in the past 3 years. So
there you go.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I got
it's been
confused.
rowdy. We're gonna try to get another one. Try to do a back to back, and then we can call ourselves the 3-time. And
Ship.
that'd be the only, nobody's ever won 3 in street mod. So we're gonna
Oh
take a
yeah.
whack at it. So
Hell yeah. Well, dude, it's a pleasure, man. I appreciate it. Like thank you for everything you do for
oh,
us,
thank
right?
you,
Like
dude. The
I'm happy
support's
to be part of the team.
fantastic.
You gotta
Hell
give
yeah,
me a
dude.
picture so I can put it on the wall, right? I got
Yes,
like Rob Dom, I got like Brendan Greaves, I got a couple other drivers that we dealt
we're
with.
working on that.
Uh,
If you want
I
to,
got
if you
Rick
want to check something out real cool, technically we're going to be
yeah.
releasing it tomorrow, but by the time I upload this, it should be like, check out teamboogeyman.com when you get a
All right,
chance.
yeah, well,
It's
yeah,
it's pretty sick. And
hell yeah.
all right. All right, man. Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And we will catch you guys all next time.